And good morning. It's 7:04 on this Tuesday, January 21st. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome. Here we are on a Tuesday morning after a Monday holiday for some, and we welcome you to our program. Brought to you by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. Tracy Pope is here. Tracy, good morning.
Good morning, Coleman.
Tracy, of course, Director of Community Relations for Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital, and you're here in spite of the cold weather this morning.
It was cold. I love that electric start. My car didn't park in a garage, so I at least get to start it from my window. That's nice.
It is. I wish I had that. But it's a little warmer this morning than it was yesterday. We were here yesterday. I believe it was 9 degrees on my car thermometer.
Ooh.
I think it said 16 this morning.
Yes. I was not out this early yesterday, so.
Well, you want to get us started here?
Yes,
before you introduce
we do. We are always looking to expand services here in Wilson County, and we are having a ribbon cutting and open house coming up with our Vanderbilt Ingram Cancer Center, Lebanon. We're opening a new location. It's going to be at 1616 West Main Street, Suite 101, and this will be on February the 3rd at 1 o'clock. It's going to be a joint open house and ribbon cutting with the Lebanon Wilson County Chamber and the Mount Juliet Chamber of Commerce, and we're so thankful to have relations, and they will come together and support us. And once again, this will be a ribbon cutting and open house on February the 3rd at 1 o'clock with the Vanderbilt Ingram Cancer Center, Lebanon.
Well, you have a relationship, personal and professional, I guess, with both the Chambers of Commerce.
Absolutely. The Chamber is really the center of the hub for your community and organizations and small businesses, and it's just a valued partner with Vanderbilt.
All right. You have not one but two guests this morning.
We do. We have some friends from our Vanderbilt Neurology Mount Juliet Clinic, Dr. Scott Zuckerman and Barrett Rayburn, with us this morning.
All right. Dr. Scott Zuckerman, a spine surgeon, good morning to you.
Morning. Real honor to be here.
Well, we're certainly glad to have you. And what about the other gentleman?
Yes, Barrett Rayburn, a physician's assistant in the Vanderbilt Neurology Clinic.
Well, Barrett Rayburn, thank you for being with us today.
Absolutely. Good morning.
Guess we want to find out a little bit about both of you, but we can start with you, Dr. Zuckerman. Tell us a little bit about your life experience so far, and we always wonder how you got to Lebanon, Tennessee, so include that.
Of course, yeah. So I'm a neurosurgeon here and spine surgeon, as you said. I'm from New York originally, but came down here for medical school at Vanderbilt, and fell in love with the city and the state, and stayed here for most of my training in neurosurgery. I did a 1-year spine fellowship back in New York at Columbia in Manhattan, and then came back down. My wife is from here, and we have 2 kids, and we really love it down here. And we've opened up our clinic in Mount Juliet for about 6-8 months now. And I'm here several times a month. Barrett is here several times a week. And Barrett's my PA, has been with me for about really 5 years, and he's one of the best PAs, I think, in the state, if not country. And Barrett's local. So why don't you say a little bit about yourself, Barrett?
Well, before we do that, Let me ask one other thing. What got you into the medical profession?
Great question. My father's a physician, and a distinct memory I have is being a kid in the car, riding with him, 8 or 9 years old, and he would have a stack of papers, patient questions to call back, and I'd be in the front seat, he'd be calling them back, and it'd be very simple questions, but I could hear the patient on the other end of the line, and they'd have their questions answered, and they were just so appreciative and so thankful to have their medical questions answered, and that spoke to me and meant a lot to me. And if I could go into a field where I could be helping people with a simple phone call, and of course medical services and skills as well, I thought I'd be very happy and fulfilled.
So you're not disappointed that you chose this path?
Oh no, I love it. I feel like I don't work a day in my life because I love what I do so much, whether it's in clinic or surgery, and working with a lot of talented people.
All right, Barrett Rayburn, let's hear it from you.
Okay, yes. So I was born and raised Middle Tennessee. I grew up out in Dixon County initially, but I went undergrad at MTSU. I did PA school at Trevecca. I've been at Vanderbilt for 10 years now, and so I currently live in Mount Juliet. And my wife grew up in Mount Juliet and went to Mount Juliet High School, and I have 3 kids, and so we all love Mount Juliet. I have the clinic now open in Mount Juliet that opened about 6 months ago or so, and I'm there multiple times throughout the week. And I love being in Mount Juliet, close to my home, and it's been great.
What pointed you towards the medical profession?
Yeah, so my brother is actually a PA as well, and so very early on, right in high school and early decisions about what I wanted to do, I was able to shadow and kind of be around him a lot. And once I knew early on that this is exactly what I wanted to do, I was able to see him in clinics, see him in the OR, and it exactly fit what I wanted to be.
Well, Dr. Zuckerman, what exactly do you do as a spine surgeon? I mean, that kind of tells us a little, but you can elaborate a lot, I hope.
Of course, yeah. So spine surgery encompasses any pathology, any abnormality related to the neck, mid-spine or thoracic spine or low back. And back pain's a problem that almost every person will deal with at some point in their life. And what we see in our clinic is any complaint. It could be arm pain, leg pain, arm or leg weakness, which can be very concerning. And we oftentimes, the treatment that people need for spine issues is not surgery. It can be something like physical therapy or injection. So I'd say we offer surgery to about 5 or 10% of the people that we see, because surgery is really a last option, and we're very selective in who needs surgery. But if we choose the right patients and they undergo a procedure, they usually do really well and can get their function back and get their pain can be significantly improved. They can get back to living their life, whether that's a young professional with scoliosis who needs a major surgery or an older grandparent who just wants to take care of their grandkids. So that's kind of what we do in clinic, mostly dealing with spine issues.
And you say surgery is pretty much a thing of last resort.
Yeah, exactly. Surgeries can really help, but it's got to be in the right patient and after they've tried a multitude of treatments, which include non-invasive therapies, like, as mentioned, physical therapy, injections, medications.
How successful is it usually before, or how, well, do you have a lot of successes and not need surgery?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Patients come in and they say their arm or leg is killing them and I can't sleep, and it's been 10 days and it's been horrible. They haven't been able to work or do anything for those 10 days. We say, all right, most of these resolve with time. Let's take a deep breath. Let's try a couple medications, physical therapy. And most people, 70-80% of people come back in a couple weeks and they say, you know what, that was rough, but I'm feeling so much better. Thank you for not rushing us to surgery, and thank you for taking time and explaining what my condition was. A lot of time just explaining what's going on and showing them. We show everyone their imaging. We examine everyone very closely and say, this is the problem. This is most likely going to get better without surgery. That gives people a lot of peace of mind.
Well, that makes me wonder, how are you able to diagnose, and is it somewhat trial and error maybe, or do you detect the diagnosis almost immediately a lot of time?
It's a great question. Well, it starts with just listening. You know, that's one of the most important things we can do as physicians and providers, is just hearing a story. And that often points us in a direction of, is it a disc bulge or degeneration that's been going on for 10 years, or is this a new problem that just popped up right away? And some people, it's straightforward. Their scan is perfect except for one little spot, the L4-5 or the L5-S1 or a pinched nerve in their neck. And it's straightforward. Other people, especially as you get into your 60s, 70s, and 80s, there's degeneration everywhere in the spine. And it can be very hard to pinpoint what it is. If that's the case, we just try, multiple different options. Let's get an injection here, see if it helps. Let's try physical therapy here. Let's get another injection until we get a solution that addresses their chief complaints, whether it's back or leg pain or arm pain, or et cetera.
Is it correct to say that most people can get some relief, if not total, maybe not heal completely, but be better after you've seen them for a while?
Yeah, I think so. And I tell patients, we may not have the complete answer yet, but I'm going to stick with you however long, and really forever, whatever you need my help, whether it's a spine surgeon. Oftentimes we'll get imaging of the spine and we say, you know what, your spine looks great. This may be more of a neurology problem, or it may be an orthopedic problem, hips or something like that. And we're going to point you in the right direction so you can navigate the Vanderbilt health system, which is great and a lot of smart, talented people, but it can be daunting. So we help them through that.
Well, let's not leave the PA out, the physician assistant. Where do you come in and your working relationship with each other? And
absolutely.
do you know, I mean, you two you work closely together?
Absolutely.
Probably too closely for his life.
Exactly. So, as he was saying, there are a lot of people that have various conditions, back pain, neck pain, and it's hard for him to see absolutely everyone. And so my role is to basically be an extension to where in clinic where I'm able to see new people as well, some people that don't necessarily have imaging yet, for an example. And so I can order the correct images to make sure that we can figure out exactly what's going on, and then to decide, is this patient eventually needing surgery? Again, starting with the physical therapy or injections. But if they do need some sort of surgical help, then I'll help with getting the referral and having them follow up with Dr. Zuckerman.
I guess we have pretty much defined what you do, but you strictly deal with the spine?
Yeah, I also, being a neurosurgeon, trained in brain surgery and treatment of brain disorders. So I'm also head of the Vanderbilt Sports Concussion Center with one of my neuropsychology partners, Doug Terry. So that's a part of my practice as well, seeing sports head injuries, and that sort of evolves into sports spine injuries. So we see a lot of athletes as well. But mostly it is spine issues that we deal with.
Okay. All right. Dr. Scott Zuckerman and Barrett Rabin, physician assistant, along with Tracy Pope, my guest this morning. Our program presented by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. We'll take a break right here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Absolute Kubota, high performance, high horsepower, 0% financing is still a thing. Now is the best time to save on new Kubota L-Series tractors, rated number 1 for durability and owner experience in the U.S. Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Clearing up an accident. It's been there for a while in the Madison area, slowing down that traffic flow on 65 southbound, right near Dickerson Pike. Again, it should be wrapped up sooner than later as it gets heavier now in Vietnam Vets westbound at Conference Drive. You got all that traffic pushing in from Sumner County, Hendersonville, headed towards Davidson County on Vietnam Vets, again going westbound. Hey, Princess Hot Chicken has live entertainment every Wednesday night from 6 to 9. Check it out online for more information at princesshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
And now, a moment of silence to remember our dear friend.
Sorry. Oh, man.
Life can be uncomfortable. Your home doesn't have to be. With a wide range of air conditioners, furnaces, and heat pumps, Rheem makes it easy to feel comfortable, even when you can't be comfortable.
Financing available through TVA's Energy Right program and your local power company. Call Randy's Heat and Air 237-3604.
1.5 seconds left, no timeouts. Here's your season. Negron gives it to Bird. Bird for the win. It's gone! He did it! College Hoops is back, and so is Cumberland University on the radio. Join me, John Boyce, in the booth for every Mid-South Conference game this regular and postseason for both men's and women's Phoenix basketball. Conference games are every Thursday starting at 5:30 and every Saturday starting at 1 o'clock. Phoenix basketball is right here on 98.9. Cumberland's a winner.
And we continue here on a Tuesday morning. Thanks for joining us this Tuesday, January 21st. Our program brought to you by Vanderbilt Wilson County Hospital. And again, along with Tracy Pope, Tracy has brought Dr. Scott Zuckerman, spine surgeon, and Barrett Rabin, his physician assistant. Let's get back. Anything you want to say at this point, Tracy?
No.
Right. Okay.
Go take it.
Back to the guest you have brought, talking about your areas of expertise, and as a spine surgeon, I think we've talked some about degenerative, but if you want to talk more about that, we want to know about what is adult scoliosis. Did I say that right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, take it from there.
Yeah, so we treat all kinds of pathologies. So adult scoliosis can be two variations. It can happen as a result of severe degeneration. Your spine just takes a curve and you're leaning forward, you're leaning to the left, you're leaning to the right, and you really are severely disabled and can't even do the basic things like walk or travel or go out to get a meal. Then you can also have scoliosis that was diagnosed as a teenager and you didn't have surgery for whatever reason, and that can progress in adulthood. And most of those don't progress to surgery, but there's a subset that their scoliosis, their curve goes from 30 to 40 to 50 to 60 degrees, and then it can become a real problem. So thankfully, we're able to treat some of those complex conditions, and that speaks to the extra year I did. So I'm a neurosurgeon by training. I did a year in orthopedic spine fellowship that really helped train me in how to do some of these complex scoliosis procedures. And those are major surgeries. You have to sort of work up to that, optimize your health, physical therapy, check your bone quality, but those can be really have life-changing results from people after long surgery and long recovery. And then I just mentioned, you mentioned, Tracy, the Ingram Cancer Center. We also treat spinal tumors. The treatments for cancer these days are so advanced. People are often living 5, 10, 15 years, and if they've developed some spread to their spine, that previously was something that people thought, all right, you're really not going to live much longer, but it's the complete opposite now. You can live a very long time. So we treat patients who have spinal tumors as well, and we can get them back to a good quality life as the rest of their cancer care progresses.
Well, you're talking about life-changing results here. Hopefully, you've made a few happy campers.
Yeah,
more than a few.
Of course, we try. We try.
Well, we've already talked about the fact that surgery is kind of a last resort, so everybody you see doesn't need surgery. And any more about treatment options that we might mention?
No, just surgery is a very thoughtful decision. Even though I'm a surgeon, we really only offer surgery to about 5 to 10% of people that we see, because it is a big deal. And I tell patients there's no such thing as a small surgery in general. There's definitely no such thing as a small spine surgery. Even a 45-minute or an hour procedure, some of the most, quote, simple surgeries we do are there's a lot at stake and there's a lot at risk when you're operating around your nerves. So surgery and offering that is a very thoughtful decision that we go about, both Barrett and I and my other nurse practitioner, Mary, who's primarily down in Nashville but comes up here, and the rest of our team, my head nurse, Christy, who's from Shelbyville, and my other nurse, Marty, who's from Kentucky.
Well, Barrett Raymond, as a physician's assistant, do people maybe sometime spend a little bit more time with you than they would with Dr. Zuckerman, maybe because he is, maybe that's more your job to assume that role and pick up where Dr. Zuckerman's left off.
Exactly. So there are a lot of times where we'll see people, and we know that there really isn't a need for surgery. Like you said, 90% of people that come in with back pain really won't need an operation. And so there's a lot of things that we do during the workup. So we'll get imaging to see if this is something that requires surgery. And if not, we have a lot of partners and providers that work in the non-operative side of things with our interventional pain team that is downtown. But we also have some providers out here in Wilson County that come out and do various injections for us. We have multiple physical therapy offices as well. And so it's just a matter of trying to give them the best treatment, knowing that a lot of these conditions can be treated and fixed without operation.
I have an idea that some people are quite rambunctious, especially after they've had surgery, and others are probably almost afraid to make a move, that they're going to tear something up. And you probably advise both sides of the table.
For sure. So there's kind of an acute period after the procedure where they're still just recovering from the surgery itself. And it's usually, we'll say, have various restrictions in place where there's no bending, lifting, twisting, things of that nature, knowing that it's just going to be very uncomfortable for them. And we have various medications we'll give them to keep them comfortable. But and then as we progress at 2 weeks, 6 weeks, we allow them to do more. At one point at 6 weeks, we start implementing physical therapy to kind of work on their core strength again. Dr. Zuckerman may be able to add.
Yeah, there's a bit of a misconception, I will say, that people think after spine surgery, you're bedridden for 6 weeks, and it's the complete opposite. The first day after the surgery, oftentimes the same day, you're walking around. Walking is one of the best things you can do after surgery. Even the big scoliosis surgeries, 8-10 hours, there's great research to show, some from our lab at Vanderbilt, the earlier you walk and the earlier you move, can lead to a better recovery. So we're always encouraging people to move around and stay active.
Well, now pain can be an issue. You walk with pain?
Yeah, easy for me to say. I'm not the one going through the surgery, so I get that. Yes, we have a multimodal, a dedicated pain team at Vanderbilt. So this is a common question we get before surgery: how are you going to control my pain? And we're going to use a bunch of different medications that all target different things in your body to make sure your pain is, we can't get it to a 0, but we don't want it to be 9 or 10, in the 3, 4, 5 range, so you can get out of bed, eat your meals, walk around the hallway a little bit. And we try and stay away from opioids. That's a very hot topic, and we probably will need another hour to talk about that, so I won't get into too much. But we do use opioids as needed, but we try and stay away from them and use other safer medications that can just as adequately treat your pain.
I take it you're pretty busy, and maybe not busy enough, but nearly busy enough. You are taking more patients. That's where I was headed.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And like I said, I'm here several times a month, and those are very full days. We get here early and we stay late, and we spend a lot of time with patients. But Barrett being here multiple times per week is really important too, because like I said, Barrett is my right-hand person. I'll be doing multiple surgeries, seeing patient messages, and if there's a patient who has a question, or maybe someone who is scheduled for surgery in a month, but their problems are getting worse, I'll say, Barrett, please call this patient, investigate. We may need to move up their surgery, and he's on it like that. So having a really experienced, well-trained, yet compassionate team who's always available and local is really important to us.
Your team going to grow, perhaps, or are you big enough now?
We're always looking to grow. Always looking to grow. We don't have any plans at the moment, but we're always looking to
well, and as he mentioned earlier, they have been in the Wilson County Mount Juliet location for about 6 or 8 months now, and that's just another example of the investments that Vanderbilt is investing in Wilson County. You know, we don't want patients to have to drive into Nashville, drive for their services, and we are bringing this highly specialized care out to the community. I do want to brag a little bit. Vanderbilt University Medical Center honors those who consistently live our values and reflect the culture of our service. And one of those ways that we honor is through our Credo Award. And a Credo Award winner makes those who serve their highest priority. September 2024, Dr. Zuckerman received this award. Tell us a little bit about that experience.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. You were on the radio. You can't see me blushing, but thank you for that, Tracy. No, just very humbled and honored. I worked with some amazing people. My assistant, Melissa Cox, was the leader of that, and I was just very grateful and surprised and humbled for that.
Well, and as you mentioned, you don't do this on your own. It sounds like you have just an incredible team that raises you to the highest level, and you're able to take care of the patients and meet them where they are.
Yeah, patients often rounding after surgery, their pain will be better. They'll say, thank you so much. And I'm quick to tell them, I mean, there's about 30 to 40 people that participate in your care to get you from clinic to surgery and back to clinic and back to your life. So you really can't do anything alone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me ask you this. I don't think we probably know everything there is to know about anything medically speaking, but we have come a long way, and no doubt from what you've told us today, we've come a long way as far as spine surgery, this sort of thing. What about the future? Is there's still research going on, no doubt. What do you think the next 10, 15 years might bring? Yeah,
that's a great question. The field of spine surgery is moving very quickly, and I'd say the most exciting area is patient-specific technology. So especially for the bigger surgeries, but even for the shorter surgeries. I will plan, if someone has a scoliosis, I'll plan out exactly how we want their spine to look, to have a nice shape so they're able to stand up straight, they're not leaning one way, and we'll have patients, and oftentimes spine surgery requires screws and rods, the major ones do. So we'll plan a patient-specific rod that tells us that we can put in the patient. We order it several weeks before with a bunch of different angles, so exactly what we want. We'll put that rod in the patient for surgery. We'll also have metal cages that will be, again, specific to their anatomy and their body, and that gives us a lot more control in surgery and makes us closer to always achieving the optimal outcome that we want in surgery. So I would say patient-specific technology where, 5 people have spine surgery, the rod or their implants will be specifically tailored to each of them based on their surgery and their anatomy.
Okay, one other thing we haven't discussed, and I don't know whether there's much way to do this, but is there any way to prevent some of these situations? Now, I mean, if you can avoid an accident that's going to cause a spine problem, that's pretty obvious. But are there other things people can do to be careful to avoid having to come see you in one of these situations?
I think, just to say a couple things, some of it's DNA. No matter what you do, you live the healthiest life possible. You just have genetics. So that's something we encounter a lot. Patients say, my mom or dad had an issue, my brother or sister, so that's nothing we can do anything about. But things we can do is just living a healthy lifestyle, exercising regularly, focusing on your core, keeping a strong core, eating healthy, getting a lot of sleep. This is what we would say to anyone in medicine, but it still applies to your spine health. And in addition to that, really just being careful of how you bend over. Trying to bend with your knees rather than your low back specifically is something I'm always, my kids are little. Barrett's kids, we're the same age, but Barrett's kids are a lot older, so I take a lot of father parenting advice from him. But when I'm picking up my little 2-year-old, Asher, or 4-year-old, Avery, who's heavier, I'm always using my knees rather than my back. So that's just a practical tip.
Okay. Well, certainly it's been nice to have you both here today. Tracy, anything you want to say before you go?
Yes, just a reminder that we are having an open house and ribbon cutting with our Vanderbilt Ingram Cancer Center Lebanon, a new location at 1616 West Main Street, Monday, February the 3rd at 1 o'clock. And you can find this information on the Lebanon-Wilson County Chamber website, also the Mount Juliet Chamber website. We're doing a joint ribbon cutting and open house, so we're grateful for our partners.
All right. Well, thank you all for being with us. Dr. Scott Zuckerman, spine surgeon, and Barrett Rabin, physician assistant. We appreciate you being with us this morning. Enjoyed your visit. And Tracy, thank you. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you, Coleman.
That is part one of Coleman and Company, brought to you by Vanderbilt Wilson, and we have more, so keep it here, FM 98.9.
Let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to Bates Ford and the Works Vehicle Checkup. They'll make sure your vehicle is ready for any road. $59.95 up to 5 quarts oil, tax and disposal, tire rotation and safety checks. 1780 Franklin Road. Now with traffic, here's Chuck.
Morning, it's flowing a little bit better than it was. 65 south at Dickerson Pike from that earlier collision. As it builds now on 24 east through the Jolton area, it's gotten heavier. 24 westbound up through the Antioch area. You got all that traffic coming in from Murfreesboro, Rutherford County up through Antioch. Just give yourself a little bit of extra time. We did see radar earlier, I-40 out through the Mount Juliet area. Princess Hot Chicken has live entertainment every Wednesday from 6 to 9. Check out the details and look at that menu at princesshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Where a patient starts their cancer care matters. And here, that means Vanderbilt Ingram Cancer Center, Wilson County. It's Vanderbilt level care without making the drive to Nashville. From screening to diagnosis to treatment and recovery, patients can get all the care they need right here close to home. So now, having the best care team and most advanced treatment is closer than ever. Vanderbilt Ingram Cancer Center, making cancer care personal.
What is your passion? How can you use that passion to enrich your community? Hi, this is Melanie Minter, President and CEO of the Lebanon-Wilson County Chamber of Commerce. Your chamber is the resource for making connections to fulfill your passion. Whether education, nonprofit, agriculture, entertainment, or government relations, Wilson County offers a place for you to be involved. Your chamber connects businesses, individuals, and your passion to the community. We have an enthusiasm for excellence. Join us and catch the spirit. Call or visit our office at 149 Public Square in Lebanon.
We'll have cloudy skies this morning. Some sunshine possible this afternoon. Remains very cold. Highs only in the lower 20s. Clear and frigid for tonight. Lows around 5 degrees. And then partly cloudy on Wednesday. Highs around 30. This weather forecast brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty. Professional auction and real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. With your severe view forecast, I'm Drew Richards.
We welcome you to part two of Coleman and Company, and here on this Tuesday morning, Sean Dozier joins us to talk about Hearthside Senior Living. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman. It's always great to be here.
Well, it's always great to have you, and I'll tell you what, it was colder yesterday morning, but it seemed just as cold to me this morning.
It did.
It gets below 20 degrees. It's just cold.
If you're in bed, stay in bed. Let me tell you. By the way, what's that shirt? That shirt is that's a nice shirt.
For a while. I have a lot of shirts and jackets that have the station logo, so we would say compliments of Susie James.
Well, I was wondering how old that shirt was. That's pretty neat. You can
tell I've worn it a few times.
Yeah.
It's a little worn around the
it.
cuffs here, but it is
I
worn.
like it. Yeah, I like it.
It is worn. Yeah. How you been?
Well, I've been good. We've been good at Hearthside. It's so cold at Hearthside. We've got both of our fireplaces going, and the residents are staying warm and staying inside. Most days, if it's halfway decent, we'll have residents walking around the building and sitting on the porches and fellowshipping outside. But let me tell you, not today. Not today or not this week.
Well, even the name, though, and I've thought about this especially since your anniversary celebration and everything, but Hearthside's a great name, and in the wintertime, it just has a feeling of warmth to it.
It does. It was designed as a chalet, and Norma Morris, Dr. Jimmy Morris's wife, came up with the name Hearthside, and they wanted a nice hearth and fireplaces in the building. We have two nice ones. And so that was the original name, Hearthside, and Miss Morris, Norma Morris, came up with that name, and we use those fireplaces. It's nice to have, and that's part of our emergency plan. If our heat goes down, we use those gas fireplaces, and that has come in handy a couple of times since I've been there. So it's nice to have those, and the residents enjoy them when they're eating dinner or lunch, dinner, breakfast. They enjoy having those fireplaces going, and it's very nice, to be honest.
People younger than you maybe might not even know what a hearth was.
Why don't you tell them?
Well, it's that area in front of the fireplace that had a chimney, and you had coal or wood that you burned in the grate there and kept the supply handy and kept the house warm, and hopefully you had a good chimney and the smoke went out the top like it's supposed to.
You remember those days, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Well, now we have gas fireplaces, and we just flip a switch, and there it goes.
But anyway, Sean is Executive Director, Hearthside Senior Living at 215 Castle Heights Avenue here each Tuesday to talk about it. I think last week you had an opening.
We had an opening. Now we don't. We've got somebody that has reserved that room, so we're back to full capacity, and we're grateful for that. We do have a small waiting list. We've gone through that waiting list a couple of times over the past several weeks, and folks just aren't ready yet, but people like to keep their name on the list just in case, so they can get that call and say, hey, we have a room that's opened up. So we're back full, and
really that's all it's for. And when there's a vacancy, they're there to be called if they're ready.
If they're ready. It's same as for the independent living as well. If they're ready, they're ready. If they're not, we just move down the list and we keep your name on the list. And it's nice to have that waiting list because people over the years haven't been able to get in as quickly as they wanted to. So having their name on the list really does help. I put somebody on the list for the assisted living this week again. They just wanted to be on the list just to get that call. They're not ready just yet, but the waiting list is nice to have. And we've had a waiting list for quite some time. We have 44 rooms. We're licensed for 49. We have a couple that lives there now, so we can go over, 44 people. We can go up to 49 folks if we have couples living there. But we have plenty of room. I'd like to add some more eventually, but right now we're at full capacity, both in our independent living and our assisted living. And again, it's a senior living community. We emphasize that. We start with the independent living folks. If you're 65 or older, you can move into the 2 or 3 bedroom homes. And then later on, as Linda Parlow likes to say, when I get to the point when I'm ready for the assisted living, just roll me up the hill. So that's what I told her I'm going to do. When she's ready, I'm going to roll her up the hill. But she's not quite ready for that. But it's a great continuum of care. If you're in the independent living, you just move right on up to the assisted living if you need it later on.
Well, if you want to know more, go by and talk to Sean. He'd welcome you to do that. But you can also call, too, and make an appointment if that's your choice, 615-443-1994. And that's 1994 is a good way to remember two things, your phone number and the year it started.
That's right, 1994. We broke ground, and actually we moved in 1994. Then 2010 is when they started the independent living homes. So we've got a great community there, Coleman. Again, 615-443-1994. They can go to our website at hearthsideliving.com, and they can see all the information there. Or as I like to tell people, just stop by.
Yeah. And that's good because you don't they see it as it is. You don't get ready for them, especially if you don't know they're.
That's the best way to do it, right? That's the best way to do it. Just
how about
by.
a Hearthside hello?
Well, Wes Durham, his birthday's today, and I saw him the other day, and I wanted to say happy birthday to Wes Durham, and I think he's a sponsor of this radio station. So we'll give a shout out to Wes Durham and a Hearthside hello to him as well.
All right. Well, thanks for being with us. Like I say to several, stay warm, stay safe.
Thank you, Coleman. And I like that shirt, by the way.
Well,
I like that
you.
shirt.
I'll wear it again for you sometime.
Good.
Hearthside Senior Living, Sean Dozier, and that is it for that. And we'll turn to my guest this morning, who happens to be County Mayor Randall Hutto, here for a special reason, which we will get in. He's here because he's my regular guest, but it's today rather than yesterday because of a change that's been made. And Mayor, good morning. And
morning to you, Coleman.
Well, welcome again, and we can get right into what's happened just to remind folks why you're here on a Tuesday and not a Monday.
Well, I'll do a little history first. We had normally during we meet the third Monday of each month at 7 o'clock, except for January and February, which was Martin Luther King Day and President's Day.
Right.
And we used to meet the fourth Monday. The County Commission thought a few months ago that it was too short of a time between the fourth Monday and the next third Monday, and didn't see any reason why we couldn't meet on Tuesday. So therefore, they passed a resolution, and we're meeting on Tuesday now, and as of today, and then we'll do the same thing on President's Day.
Right, and let me just interject here that because of that and wanting to be as timely as we can, Mike Jennings, who always follows you, our county attorney, who's always come the day after you, still will, but he'll be on at 7 in the morning and 7 in February, and we're moving Mark Hinesley in February a week later to kind of make up for this. But Mike will be here just 30 minutes earlier tomorrow and in February.
So we've kind of messed the apple cart up, but
well, we that's one thing about radio. You improvise, you adapt, whatever. No problem.
You guys always do a great job of that, and we appreciate definitely the coverage and letting people know that what's coming up, and then of course they can watch it live stream tonight if they'd like to do that as well. So,
yeah.
But I know you're ready for me to get started. We had when you think about yesterday was a big day in lots of ways. We had the Martin Luther King walk at 10 o'clock, which I didn't think was going to happen in the very beginning, but it did, and there was a great crowd that came, and thanks to Deion Jones and the NAACP that actually organized that and put that on, but several people showed up for that, and of course we had the transfer of power to the presidency, and as you watch that, all of that just seems to be fascinating to me as they make all of those different things happen. But that is another historical day, as well as they had the national championship football game last night. So it was a large day yesterday to get things done, and Ohio State seemed to do very well.
No, were you surprised at all?
I think we realized, and of course being a Tennessee fan and getting the whipping from them that we got, I felt like that they were playing pretty well. Didn't know if they could continue or not, but they sure did, and they just were probably hands down better than everybody.
That I don't know how bad a whipping it was. I can't remember the score, but that defeat by Michigan, just the coach evidently used all of his power of persuasion and whatever other power he had to turn that team around. And I mean, they've looked like $1 million ever since.
Yeah, I remember last night the commentator said that he said, how did Michigan beat them? And I was very proud too of Notre Dame last night. They made that first drive and got down 21-7, but they continued to fight. A lot of times teams will just fold, and they didn't continue to fight and work their way back and had opportunities there to possibly get in there and tie it up at the end. And so, but again, a great game. Been sort of a busy month. A lot of times during the holidays, people don't want meetings. They're doing other things, and so therefore we get a lot done at the office during this time, which is a good thing. And we had several good meetings. One that I really want to talk about was called Smiles for Recovery. Dr. Aaron Pryor, he's a dentist here in town. Him and another guy came and talked to me about they were offering free dental services to drug addicts that have recovered. and evidently the drug situation ruins your teeth, and so they were trying to make those people again that had recovered, and so we put them in touch with several different groups. They had a good meeting at the courthouse up there, and so I think he's got that program out going and doing good. So I was, very excited for that. That seemed to be something good for our community. Had a groundbreaking over at the Lebanon Housing Authority with Mr. Patrick Johnson as they demolition part of theirs and rebuilding back an area. Talked a little bit about Brooke Driver in our office worked on a $100,000 grant for the libraries where they would be able to have more hot spots to hand out to the public so people could have internet in the home that don't have it normally, as well as there were some more computers that were bought for stations there. So this was a GNRC grant, free money, no matching, so $100,000. And so thanks to Brooke and Alicia there that runs the library for working together and making that happen. Had a good meeting. I know you just had the hospital people on, but I'm a part of that board, and hospital's really doing well, financially good, as well as services that they continue to upgrade and bring. As a matter of fact, a couple of the doctors are going to be at the county commission meeting tonight to address the commission, to kind of give the commission just an update of where they are in our community. Mr. Jim Major and I met about last Friday, I think, and he has decided to retire. And so Mr. Jim will be retiring. And just to kind of give you the process on this, we have 120, anytime an elected official leaves office and creates a vacancy, if you can replace that vacancy within 120 days by a general election, if it happens, then the county commission didn't have to put anybody in their place. But if the general election doesn't fall within the next 120 days, the county commission must replace the vacancy. And so we will post that job. It's already posted, as a matter of fact, and we'll post it up until the February 18th meeting, where the county commission then will appoint someone to be Mr. Major's replacement, and that person will serve until August the 31st of 2026. And so that process is now underway. And
so we're talking about a year and a third, maybe, something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
Right. Definitely over a year.
Yes, sir.
Until it would be till September 1st, which should be 1st of September after we have the August election.
That's right. The
Yeah.
August election is in August the 6th. And, of course, so anybody wanting to run for that office would, get in touch with Miss Tammy Smith at the election office. And, all of that stuff doesn't happen until, I think, the primaries in May.
Right.
And then we'll have the general election in August the 6th. But whoever's appointed will serve until August 31st until the election succeeds, whatever that may be. So Mr. Major will retire officially on February the 18th. He'll be in office until then, and then that night the county commission will appoint somebody in his place. But that process is going on, and we wish him well in his retirement. And just looking forward to some things that are coming up.
Let me just ask one. I guess it'll be up to the county commission to decide who is going to fill out the unexpired term here.
They do,
and anybody that would be seeking that, I guess, would be contacting 25 county commissioners. That sort of thing. It's kind of the way that works, isn't it?
It is, and it's done like that because when the people can't get together and elect, then they allow the people that they elected, the 25 commissioners, to get together and elect. And if you want to go to a break, I'll come back and talk about the process.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, it is a little past time for a break. County Mayor Randall Hutto is here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
Let's see what's happening on the roadways. And it's all brought to you by Absolute Kubota. High performance, high horsepower, 0% financing is still a thing. Now is the best time to save on new Kubota L-Series tractors, rated number 1 for durability and owner experience in the U.S. Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. Traffic's on the increase, even more down. 65 through the Madison area. It looks better than it did there past Dickerson Pike. Now it's still a little bit sluggish on 65 southbound right at Trinity Lane, but that's not going to surprise anybody. 24 also still a little bit heavy up through Antioch. Coming in from Murfreesboro, Rutherford County. Plenty of radar out here this morning. Give yourself extra time. Hey, when you need dependable towing, make sure you call STR Towing and Recovery, serving all surrounding counties here in Middle Tennessee. Check out strtow.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Welcome to Hearthside Senior Living, Lebanon's unique senior living community designed for seniors to age in place, all within a safe, comfortable, and Christian environment. Beautiful retirement homes designed for an independent lifestyle with maintenance-free living. Hearthside Senior Living also continues the excellent tradition of assisted living for those seniors who need additional services. Hearthside Senior Living, an independent retirement community and assisted living community, all on one campus in the heart of Lebanon. Call 615-443-1994 for a tour.
Cumberland Phoenix Baseball is back in action and chasing another Mid-South Conference championship with a big 50-game schedule, including a whopping 35 home games. That gives Phoenix fans plenty of chances to catch a game or two at Woody Hunt Stadium, also known as the Six, where all U.S. military veterans get in free. You can hear every game on these radio stations or on GoCumberlandAthletics.com. The season starts on Saturday, February 1st and Sunday, February 2nd. We'll see you at the Six.
And we continue here on this Tuesday morning. Thanks for joining us. County Mayor Randall Hutto, County Commission meeting tonight. Mike Jennings on in the morning at 7, not 7:30. We'll have Mayor Bell on at 7:30, is his regular time. Okay, and you really brought us some news. I don't know how many people had heard this, but County Trustee Jim Major Buckwheat has decided he's got to hang it up, and I believe you said February the 8th.
February the 18th.
18th?
Yes, sir.
All right. And that would be the date for the next county commission meeting, at which time a successor for his unexpired term would be chosen.
Correct.
Okay.
And just to talk about the process for just a little bit before we continue. So when the people cannot elect, they allow the 25 members to make that call. And what will happen, really, they'll have the opportunity to select someone on February the 18th as well. They could choose to put that off. They have 120 days to make this process happen. And normally they'll do that. And since he just brought his letter to me on Friday, and he's not going to retire until the 18th. Was not enough time to do that for today. So we'll have to run that in the paper. It has to be in the paper 7 days prior, but we'll have it in there long before that. And people will petition. They'll show up that night, or they can send a letter to me, but to request to be a candidate. And so the night of the commission meeting, what normally happens is that we go out of session and go to public comment period and let anybody in the audience speak that wants to speak about this office, and they may get up and talk about different people that they would like to see there, or recommend, or whatever. And then we'll close public comment, and then from there the commission will then nominate names. Now, people may get up that night at the public hearing and nominate Billy and Susie and Johnny, okay, but those are good and good for the commission to hear, but only the people that the commission nominates are the people that we'll actually vote on. So the commission then will make a nomination. We normally at that time will then allow those people to speak to the commission, 5 or 10 minutes, whatever they want to speak, and then we'll have the vote. And so that's kind of how that process goes. But anybody has any questions, they're welcome to call the office, and we'll definitely get that. It's was posted on our website as well, and all the details of how everything works is also already posted on the website. So that'll be information out there for them to see.
Okay. Well, I think we probably had this first this morning. We appreciate being able to bring the word, but Jim Major has served for a good while in the tradition of his father, actually. Mr. John was trustee years ago, and I think you'd honestly be hard to find many people that would be critical of the job he's done. In fact, I'll just, if I don't think it's sticking my neck out here, I think most people would agree. Jim Major has been a good trustee and has done a great job.
He's been a very good person for the county, and of course he works very close to our office up there, and we get to see him pretty much every day, and just really has done well, and I know he is ready to retire and relax a little bit, and I understand his situation, and so hopefully he has some good days ahead, and look forward to that.
Well, I don't know if he'll be able, but I hope he can go bird hunting a few more times.
Yes, sir. Maybe go to the, I think he's a Yankee fan as well.
Yeah, we got to mention that.
Yes. So just looking forward to things that are coming up. We did last year, if you remember, Looking into the Future series, where we did three conversations with the public, just talking about things that had been done. A lot of people, say, well, you guys are growing like crazy, but you're not doing anything. And so we put together the mayors, if you remember, back in February of last year, and talked about infrastructure, things that have been done. And then we brought the utility people together in May and let them talk. And then in October, we brought together the economic development people and the planners and talked. And those went well. And Susan Shaw in our office really kind of helps organize those for us. And so we decided to do 3 more. So this year we will do the first one. She's organized for it to be on public safety. So we'll have all the police chiefs and the sheriff will be together on February the 4th at 7:30 at the Farm Bureau Expo. It's a free event. There'll be breakfast there from 7:30 to 8, and then the program will last about an hour. And we'll have those people, the chiefs, as we've already talked to them a little bit, they've got a lot of good information. I don't know that the general public really knows, that I think is important as we think of a sense of safety and what's going on in our world today. So they will bring a lot of good information to us there. In May, we will do education. And bring all the educational people together. We had that last year at College Hills. We'll probably do it again this year there. And then in October, we'll do on the medical side and fire, as well as 911, and we'll do that down at Providence around October. So that's the forecast of that. But the next one that you really want to know and can go ahead and sign up for is February the 4th, 7:30 at the Farm Bureau Expo, and it'll be all of our police chiefs and Sheriff Bryan will be there. Just an update, both schools are coming out of the ground. If you get a chance to drive by those, the LaGarde Elementary one is really moving on, and that one's going to help warrant a lot there at Double Log Cabin in 109, which a lot of people have had an interest in, and so that one is also on the works. So August of 25th, August of 25 would be when that school would open. We're thinking right now. And then, of course, the school at Central Pike Elementary is well underway as well, if you drive by it. And so August of 26, we think that one will be up and running.
August of 25. That's this year.
It is this year. Yeah, it's moving pretty good.
That's what, 8 months from now? 7 months?
Yes, sir. So
wow.
It'll be pretty quick for the 109. We feel like it'll be ready to go by that time. And so excited about that. I know Director Luttrell has done a tremendous job along with the Board of Education of making those things happen, as well as the County Commission making the funding happen for those. We're continuing to work on the pay plan as we look through that process of trying to make sure we can obtain and retain good employees. We have to do that every 2 years, and steering committee has worked well with making sure that that's going to be a good endeavor this coming time. And as we, right now, they're working through the process of meeting with the department heads and elected officials to talk about any updates or upgrades that need to happen.
That, just thinking about this here, and then probably every 2 years would be about a right interval, I'm guessing, to do that. If you the way inflation's been going, you might have to be every year. But every 2 years, I think you're telling your employees, we're looking out for you, and we value you, and we're going to try to keep up to date for you as best we can. And at least this is an effort in good faith to see where we are.
It is, and I think, Coleman, we did try every 3 years, and that wasn't enough. And so they wanted to move it up to 2 years, and Steer Committee has really taken a kind of the bull by the horn here. One thing they wanted to make sure that we did is, as we valued the employees for the years of service in that particular job, so they've asked us to look at that and see what that cost would be. And as well as, we already do longevity, but they wanted to do a better job of that, and so we're looking into that. And then you're right. I think our people want to be paid, as we've said before. The clerks that sell car tags at our office is just as important as the clerks that sell tags in Williamson, Rutherford, or Sumner County. And so we want to. That's what we do this for. Are we competitive? Are we close to them? And so that does hopefully help our employees. And I feel like our benefits are good. So and that's something that the commission has always really stressed hard, is making sure that the benefits are good. And so now they're really down focusing on the pay and making sure that's right. So it is a good thing. I'm appreciative of the county commission for always being a pro-employee commission, as well as the steering committee guiding and directing the pay plan. Right now, they're doing a tremendous job with that. Yeah. And, it is budget time, and by law, I have to put a calendar out for the budget by February 1st, and so we have got that one in the office ready to go. I think Sarah is making sure everything is good on that one, and so she'll get that out this week. The multi-level court system continues to move. All the houses that were located behind the new site have been leveled, and so they're working on the foundation there, and so that's a good thing. I would like to also mention our road commission, which I think did a great job during the snow event this last time. And I did have a call that's a very good question, and a gentleman called me and he said, I'm concerned that our road commission is not doing a good enough job. If we have to keep schools closed for 2 or 3 days after the snowfall, why can't they get back there in the back and get those bad roads fixed? And the issue becomes is that a lot of these are on mountainsides, okay, that don't get any sun. And you can throw all the salt you want to on snow and ice, but if it don't get sun, then it won't work. And you can only scrape ice so much. And so that is the rub that comes there. But our road commission, I felt like, did a great job this last time. And I just wanted to shout out to Mr. Murphy and all of his crew for we're all home watching that, as Sean was talking about a while ago, being in the bed. If you're in the bed, stay in the bed with the snow, and they're out there pushing. I know you want me to get to the county commission meeting tonight right quick. I got a minute left, I think. We do have 3 rezonings tonight. Commissioner Smith will have the prayer and the pledge. We will do a school board resolution for School Board Appreciation Month. Commissioner Marlowe and Commissioner Breeze will do that. As I said, the hospital people will be there to do their presentation. We also have a presentation by DTC and United Communications as they were giving their upgrades on the ARP funds that we gave. There are a few resolutions there tonight. As we'll have one that will classify the roads, as we do that the first part of every year. We classify all roads as county roads. Appropriation of the general fund, the sheriff's department, line item transfer to judicial commissioners, a movement in WEMA, the Board of Education, and Public Building Authority will be dissolved tonight, which is something that's some old paperwork from the back, but Coleman, that's a brief.
So that's it.
That's a
all
brief.
Right. Well,
yes,
thanks for being with us. Mike Jennings will be on tomorrow at 7. Mayor Bell at 7:30, just to remind you again. And Mayor Hutto, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Until tomorrow, I wish you a terrific day.